is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and tonight from Turner Field in Atlanta, the first of a three-game weekend series. It's the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves. Historic night as we flash back. 1974, this date in baseball history. Al Downing with the pitch. Hank Aaron, historic swing. Number 715, on his way to 755 career home runs. Jim Hayes is with us. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Great to have this man back with us this season for Cardinals baseball. That's Tim McCarver. And Tim, that's offense. The Cardinals need some offense after what's taken place the first three games of this season.
Obviously, Dan, the unsettling thing was the 37 strikeouts and 101 at-bats. But in order, from a team's concept, you take a step back, relax, and go get them.
All right, tonight it's Jaime Garcia. He'll get the call, his season debut here in 2016. Can the Cardinals get the bats rolling? We're about to find out. First pitch, starting lineups, comes your way next on Fox Sports Midwest. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Chevrolet. Visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Along with Jim Hayes, Tim McCarver, I'm Dan McLaughlin. This will be our final time at Turner Field, a ballpark that opened up back in 1997. They have their new ballpark going up in Cobb County, not too far away from here. A look at the Cardinals lineup with Matt Carpenter, Stephen Piscotty, and Matt Holliday here in the first, followed by Adams, Grichuk, and Molina. Colton Wong, Jed Jerko, and Jaime Garcia, the starting 9 for Mike Matheny's club. And on the mound, it's Matt Wisler for the Braves.
Matt Wisler has done very well against the Cardinals. He's 8-8 lifetime. His first start last June, but he worked 2 games against the Cardinals and won both of them. The second one was last April, the last time the Cardinals were here.
2 wins, 2 runs in 15 2/3 against St. Louis. And the first pitch is taken for a ball, and we are underway here in Dixie. Carpenter 0 for his last 7, just 1 for 11 in the series against the Pirates. And he drives this out to center. Inciarte going back, was spun around and makes the catch. Very good defensive player out in center field, the former Diamondback.
Just to look at that flag in center, it's blowing it toward right field, so that ball not carrying into center field.
Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense for Atlanta. Olivera in left, Inciarte is in center, Nick Markakis is in right. Garcia, Ibar, Beckham, and Freeman along the infield, and Tyler Flowers is behind the plate. Steven Piscotty on the first pitch, and a fly ball lifted to right field. Markakis quickly 2 outs as we take a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Wisler, who's really trying to work on a changeup here in 2016.
Worked with Tommy Glavine over the winter. Tommy Glavine, a great left-handed Hall of Famer for the Atlanta Braves primarily, ended his career with the Mets, but he had one of the best changeups around. It's tough, however, for a left-handed pitcher to pitch or to teach a right-handed pitcher how to throw a changeup.
Grips?
Because of grips. Yep. They deliver the ball differently, too.
A strike to Holiday. The one thing about the games with Pittsburgh, Tim, was the fact that the Cardinals, even though they struck out a lot, they had numerous opportunities to put runs on the board. The Cardinals were 3 for 22 with runners in scoring position in those 3 games. That has to change starting now. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a line shot into right center field. Inciarte won't get there. He was playing in, and Holiday has a stand-up 2-out double here in the top of the first.
I'll tell you what you have to like out of the Cardinals so far. You saw Matt Carpenter swinging at 1-0 pitch. Piscotty swung at the first pitch, and Matt Holiday swinging at a 1-0 pitch. So a very aggressive approach, and I would take that when a team is struggling much more than the passive approach of sitting back, allowing even counts and things of that nature.
So here is Adams. He was thrust into opening day after Tommy Pham was hurt with an oblique injury, faced Liriano. Tough way to start the year against that left-hander. It's interesting that lefties have just crushed Wisler to the tune of 10 home runs last year and a .327 average. And yet you look on the other side and it's a .238 average from right-handers in the box. So lefties have had their way with him. To the backstop that goes as it hits Adams, and it's runners at the corners for St. Louis. The Cardinals dropping down Randall Grichuk in the lineup tonight as Holiday tried to sell the fact that he was off with the pitch. He was not, so he retreats back to second base. And a couple of quick words with our second base umpire. It'll be runners at first and second for Randall Grichuk, who's in the 5th spot in the lineup tonight. Grichuk was 1 for 10 in the series against the Pirates.
Might say, well, Matt Holiday does not have a lot of speed at second base. He doesn't, but the outfield has to play Grichuk deep. So I'm sure Chris Maloney at third base is thinking, try to score Holiday even on a sharply hit ball to an outfielder.
1-0 pitch, and Grichuk pops it back in foul just below us here at Turner Field. A sparse crowd on a chilly night here in Dixie. As is the case anytime we come down here. A lot of Cardinal fans in this area. For so many years, this was Cardinal country because of the reach of KMOX. The 1-1 pitch. Grichuk had a very good spring. And it's not just 1 for 10, but the amount of strikeouts here in the first 3 games. The 1-2. And Tim, that pitch right there, we saw a lot of. When he strikes out, it's a slider, middle, outer half, and at times you get him to chase.
Yeah, well, what pitchers try to do with guys like Grichuk is get ahead with strikes, get him out with balls. It's up to Grichuk to lay off those balls as he laid off that 1-2 breaking ball.
There it is right there. Chase that ball on the outside portion of the plate.
Not even close.
And he strikes out. Cardinals strand 2. Jaime Garcia's season debut when we come back. Lost 2 to Washington, and they hit 190 in those 2 games. Inciarte, Ibar, and Freeman here in the first. Adonis Garcia, Nick Markakis, Hector Olivera, Tyler Flowers, Gordon Beckham, and Matt Whistler, the pitcher. So here's a look at Jaime Garcia, the 29-year-old from Reynosa, Mexico. Gets the call tonight.
He was terrific last year, 10-6. 2.43 earned run average, and all 6 losses, interestingly, were when the Cardinals were shut out. So if you get him a few runs, he can hold the team down pretty well over 6-7 innings.
The Braves a year ago were 67-95. Those 95 losses, most they had lost since the 89-90 season. And a lot of trades the last month of the spring training campaign, and also the last year. I mean, it's a totally different looking group as Freddie Gonzalez is back as their skipper.
10th season as manager, succeeding Bobby Cox. And remember, this is the same organization that won 14 straight divisions from 90 until 2003. 14 straight divisions. Unparalleled.
Led by great pitching, 3 Hall of Famers. Chipper Jones will be the next one headed to the Hall of Fame. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ender Inciarte. Came over from the Diamondbacks in the Shelby Miller deal. Braves pick up Inciarte, Aaron Blair, and Dansby Swanson, the former #1 overall pick in the country, who, by the way, is a Georgia native. So they felt they got a very good return for Shelby Miller, the former Cardinal.
Inciarte, good hitter, a batter who had 303 last year and over 500 at bats for the Diamondbacks.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
That kind of ties in on the pregame show with Pat Paris talking about all the head-first slides, and it was the A.J. Pollock slide in the home plate.
Grounder that's hit to short. There's Jed Jerko. Low throw and an error on Jerko, his first of the season. That's another facet of that series with Pittsburgh. The Cardinals were sloppy defensively.
A big error by Diaz on a double play ball. Sure double play ball up the middle. Inciarte running things out. But talking about A.J. Pollock, Tony La Russa thinking that the Diamondbacks had a surefire superstar in A.J. Pollock. He broke his wrist. It looked like Jerko kind of goosed the ball to first base. Didn't throw it hard. It's kind of a sidearm throw, almost like his arm's hurting. Matt Adams tries to come up with it, but can't.
So that's going to be it for Inciarte, who came up lame running down the line. And Drew Stubbs, the former Red, will be the pinch runner for Inciarte.
Probably happened when he immediately left the box, it appeared.
So Stubbs, who has very good speed, stands at first base. And it brings in Eric Ibar. One thing you worry about when Garcia is on the mound is what you have defensively on the infield because of all the ground balls.
Right.
His ground ball percentage last season was 62%. And the one thing that he can do to get out of trouble is get that double play. It's 17 in 129 innings. What's interesting too here, Tim, the Cardinals actually skipped a start for Garcia in spring training to work on this particular aspect of his game, which is holding a runner at first. And what he was doing was rushing to the plate, a lot of pitches being left up to try to be quick to the plate to give Yachty a chance with a runner, and in doing so pitches up and a lack of location. We'll see if that happens tonight.
That's a different look right there, that throw to first base. Gene Mauch, a great manager in the majors for a long time, used to say it's a matter of formula. When you're looking at first, 100% toward first base. And then when you're checking the hitter out, 100% toward the hitter. That 85-15 combination is not a good ratio. You don't throw the ball home when you're thinking about the runner 15%, and you don't throw the ball to first base when you're thinking about the hitter. You get the idea. 85-15, not a good formula.
1-2 is hit on the ground past Terry Pendleton, former Cardinal and former MVP with the Atlanta Braves back in 1990. There's Terry.
It's his 15th year with the Braves.
How about that?
I mean, his biggest moment for the Mets, the home run off Roger McDowell, who's now the pitching coach of the Braves.
In September, Shea Stadium.
September 11th, I believe it was, 1987. One of the biggest hits in Cardinal history.
You got it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's your ground ball foul again. It was a Friday night at Shea Stadium. Never forget it. That famous home run. And
in the 9th inning.
It's such a great rivalry between the Mets and Cardinals. Cardinals won in '85, Mets in '86. Both teams very good in '87. And that win propelled St. Louis to the championship of the National League East. Right after that, they went on a little bit of a run. And they were neck and neck at that point in time. One-two is grounded foul. Ibar comes to Atlanta in the Andrelton-Simmons deal with the Angels. Braves picked up 2 of the Angels' top pitching prospects. A left-hander, Sean Newcomb, Also a right-hander, Chris Ellis. So they are trying to rebuild and get ready for a new stadium, but it does not look like this will be a competitive team this year or next year.
They lose Andrelton Simmons, one of the best defensive shortstops in the game, and gain another Simmons. Ted Simmons, the ex-Cardinal, is now assistant to the general manager, John Hart, president and GM.
Ted Simmons, by the way, high praise of Yadier Molina before the game. He is here tonight, and Molina has now passed Simmons this evening, all-time leader in games caught in Cardinals history. Ted said, quote, he's the best defensive catcher ever. There's a double play ball, and Jerko has his second error of the night.
About all you can say. These are easy plays. The first one a high hop, a low throw, and this one an easy hop, double play written all over it. 2 on, nobody out.
And arguably the most dangerous bat in this lineup now, Freddie Freeman, and nowhere really to put him.
Who has 2 lifetime home runs against the guy who doesn't give up many home runs to left-handed batters.
He's only given up 11, I believe, in his career to lefties. And Freeman skies one towards left field. Holiday under it. And he makes the catch. Runners will stay put, and a big out there. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Defense as we go around the horn. Holiday in left, Randall Grichuk in center field, and Stephen Piscotty is in right. Carpenter, Jerko, Wong, and Adams along the infield, and Yadier Molina is behind the plate. To start this season, the Braves are now 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And this was a team that a year ago offensively, last in runs, last in OPS in the National League.
This is a tough guy to face. Garcia, very, very strong. Has 1 home run this year and hits left-handers well.
4 for 7 to start this season. Couple of RBIs. Glove there by Carpenter, out at second. And there's the turn by Colton Wong, and it's a double play. Couple of errors, but Garcia pitches around those miscues. We head to the second. No score. Here at Turner Field, and we turn to our Toyota keys to the game with Tim McCarver.
It's very simple. Get the offense going, and the Cardinals with 2 out base hits in the first inning. But you know, the one thing that could turn this team around is Garcia picking up Jed Jerko at shortstop 2 errors, 2 runners on and nobody out. He gets the meat of the order. Fly ball, double play ball.
And you walk away unscathed.
Yeah, fate comes in quirky ways, and maybe the Cardinals can turn around with escape in the first inning.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Molina. Good cut. I think it's going to be interesting to watch Yadi and just how much authority he has with the bat, Tim, trying to swing with the repairs that he had in the offseason with the hand and 2 surgeries, and just how that truly is feeling. He told me the other day he feels great, but time will tell.
I'm not surprised that Whistler threw that ball whistling inside. I think a lot of pitchers are going to try to bust Yadi inside to make him prove that he could turn on that fastball in.
There it is again. Little check swing. Flowers on it. Makes the play. So once again, as we mentioned earlier, a historic day for Yadier Molina. Most all-time among Cardinals catchers in terms of games played, closing in on 1,500 for Yadier Molina.
The only catcher that I can think of who was near Molina with the spring in his legs and arms was Rodriguez.
Pudge Rodriguez.
Pudge. Couldn't think of Pudge's nickname. These things happen.
The artist known as Ivan.
Yes, Ivan Rodriguez. Spring in the legs and the arm. And me with no spring to my intellect. Or memory.
You're just getting it going, though. You got a lot of games to get going.
Yeah. Take a step back.
It's good to have you back, by the way.
It's good to be back.
Did you have a good offseason?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, loved it.
1 ball, 1 strike on Colton Wong.
5 most prominent questions asked in spring training is, do you have a nice winter? This is for baseball players and others surrounding the game. Do you have a nice winter? Did you drive down? Where are you staying? Did you have a nice winter? Or did I say that?
That was number 1, yeah.
That was number 1. How's the family? Which is another, did you drive down? They kind of look at your shoes when they ask that question. So anyway, those 5 questions, I used to just have little cards and had all the answers. I drove down. My winter was fine. I'm staying on the beach. My weight's okay.
Best shape of my life.
Yep. Now leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up for about 6 weeks of spring training. It really does. The Braves carry now a 32-inning scoreless streak coming into tonight's game against St. Louis. Remember, the Cardinals saw them in the final regular season series of last year. Cardinals had wrapped up the division on a Wednesday night against Pittsburgh. It was an off-day Thursday weekend series, and many of the regulars were resting against Freddie Gonzalez club. So kind of a lost series here at Turner Field, just trying to gear up for the postseason. And the ground ball hit sharply to Freeman. He'll take it himself. 2 down. And here comes Jed Jerko, who has already committed 2 errors tonight.
Bob Kennedy was a man of renown with the Chicago Cubs for a long time. He was with the Cardinals and used to talk about having the glove under the ball. And as you can see, the reason Jerko missed that ball was the glove was actually above the ball. The reason you try to stay under the hop is that in itself gets the rear end down. Rear end was up, and an error on Jerko.
Jerko skies one into left field. Oliveira is there and puts it away. A 1-2-3 inning for Matt Whistler midway through 2. And there's no score. Around trouble in that first inning. Finishing up his warm-up tosses here for the second as we check in with Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
And Adam Wainwright spent yesterday's off day in Augusta taking in the Masters. He was kind enough to bring a couple of his teammates with him, Michael Wacha and Trevor Rosenthal. Waino told me he's got the ultimate hookup for tickets at Masters because his wife's grandmother lives in Augusta, and that side of the family has been getting tickets for the Masters for years. But yesterday was just the second time Waino got to take it in person. He said the other time, 2011, when he was injured. Otherwise, he's always been playing baseball. And good teammate that Waino is, he brought back Masters caps for all his teammates. Dan, it kind of reminded me of something that you do for us.
I'm just curious, and thank you, Jim, for that beautiful comment. I mean, why didn't Waino help us out with some caps, too? I don't mind a cap.
I think it's for teammates, and maybe we're extended teammates, but not really at all, Dan.
I got you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No.
Here's Nick Markakis. That pitch is popped up down the left field line in foul territory. It's Holiday. And Jim, you also had an interview with Jeremy Hazelbaker on the pregame show, and he had a couple of baseballs that will stay with him the rest of his life on the show.
His first major league hit, that pinch hit double, and his first major league home run. He didn't know that he had either one, especially the home run ball. He just went back in the clubhouse and saw the ball in his locker, lettered up by the trainer, Chris Conroy. And I asked him, all right, does that go to a family member? Have been people all over you saying they want one of the souvenirs? And he goes, no, they're going on my mantle.
You don't want to lose that one. And I'm sure, Tim McCarver, you remember your first base hit in the big leagues.
Against Glenn Hobby back in 1492.
Will you stop?
No, it was 1959 in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Infield hit, Glenn Hobby the pitcher, and ultimately Glenn became a right-handed pitcher for the Cardinals back in the mid-60s.
You still have the baseball?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And the lettering done by?
Bob Bowman,
the
ex-trainer for the Cardinals, and Bob, I mean, it was a production when he did the baseballs. He would use cardinal red, obviously. Red and blue was all over the ball, and really did it up in style, as Chris does, by the way.
There's a 2-1 pitch to Hector Olivera. 3-1. Olivera 1 for 6 in the first 2 games against the Nationals. One thing you notice about Jaime Garcia, we say it time and again, but his ball just moves naturally. It is all over the place. Just that natural cutting action in and out.
Sinks, sails. A lot of times Jaime doesn't know where it's going. He knows the general area of the plate, but he doesn't throw to spots. He throws to areas.
3-2. And a called third strike. First strikeout of the year for Jaime Garcia. 3 things you need to know around Major League Baseball. The big news, Kyle Schwarber, the Cubs slugger, out for the year with a knee injury. Trevor Story, amazingly, first rookie to hit home runs in his first 4 games. And Jordan Zimmerman, the big free agent signing for Detroit. Their home opener, 7 innings, 2 hits.
So Trevor Story has 5 home runs now?
5.
In 4 games.
That's right.
He had 2 in game 1, and then solo shots in his next 3. My gosh.
By the way, we just found out from the guys in the truck. They tell us he just hit number 6.
Quit it. Come on.
You know, Reyes has had his issues off the field, so it opens up Story a chance to play at shortstop. Then they had the trade of Tulowitzki, of course, last year to the Blue Jays, and well, you never know. It could become quite a story.
Already is.
I had to say it. It's so bad, but I mean, how many people across the country are saying this is quite the story? And his last name is Story.
Yes.
There's a ball. So the guys at the truck, they are mathematicians. They tell us that he's on a pace to hit 243 home runs. The Hyundai pitch arsenal with Jaime Garcia. Fastball, the slider, the change, the curve. What stands out for you?
Well, what stands out for me is that he could throw his fastball, and it appears to be different pitches because of its movement. Appears to be a sailor one time, a sinker another time. Very tough to read.
I mean, even that last pitch, how it cut back into the right-hander, and this is Gordon Beckham. Atlanta native, former University of Georgia standout, only hit .209 last year with the White Sox. Mike Matheny told us last year he feels that Garcia, and it may surprise fans because you think about all these relievers that come out of the pen and they're throwing 98 to 100 miles an hour. He said, that's easy. He said, this guy is the hardest guy to catch that we've had here in the last 10 years because the ball is going everywhere. As a catcher, it jams your thumb. You're in between. It's hard.
I know it sounds strange, but usually if you can't catch a pitcher cleanly, that's a real good sign. That means that even though you know what's coming, you can't center the ball in your mitt.
And that's what Mike was saying. That was the exact description.
Right.
Can't catch him cleanly. One ball, two strikes on Beckham with Whistler, the pitcher, on deck. That's pulled foul.
Pitchers get so caught up with, oh, he's throwing 97, 98. Hitters will come back, yeah, and rev it up, guys. A guy like Garcia teaches you the difference between pitching and throwing.
Out in front, slowly hit. Gloved by Carpenter and makes the play. The stretch by Adams. We head to the third, scoreless game. Jaime Garcia leads it off when we come back. Only T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to MLB.TV Premium. Sign up now at T-Mobile.com/MLB and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. The Cardinals have three very good hitting pitchers, or those that can find themselves in a position to sacrifice and get the job done with Mike Leake, one of the top hitting pitchers in all of baseball, Adam Wainwright, and to an extent also Jaime Garcia.
No question. Jaime loves to swing the bat. 2 lifetime home runs, a 143 average, but 5 extra base hits. He can hit.
Whistler out for his 3rd inning. After Garcia, it's Carpenter and Piscotty, and the first pitch is taken high. The 23-year-old Matt Whistler, originally selected by San Diego, then came to the Braves as a part of the Craig Kimbrell deal, and the closer is now with the Boston Red Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only hit in this game has been a double to right center by Matt Holliday back in the 1st. Second strikeout for Whistler. 6 is a serious number and on the run when the Cardinals score 6. Any size drink is just 50 cents the next day. That's coffee, fountain, or frozen drinks. When they score, you pour at your nearest on the run. You earned it. So 2 strikeouts for Matt Whistler. Last year he was 8-8 with a 4.71 ERA. Made 19 starts after coming up from their AAA affiliate as Carpenter looks at a strike.
His first outing, he went 8 1/3 innings. I mean, how many young pitchers with promise nowadays in their opening start go that far?
And he did that against the National League champion New York Mets. As Carpenter lifts a fly ball to center. Drew Stubbs puts it away.
You see, those are 2 outs that Carpenter has made. He's 0 for 2, twice flying to center, but those are the types of outs you would like to see Matt Carpenter make when he makes an out. You'd like to see him get a hit, but he hit both balls well, staying back, not lunging at the ball as he sometimes did in Pittsburgh.
Piscotty flying to right on the first pitch and looks at a strike. What are your expectations for Stephen Piscotty?
Everything good.
Yeah.
He's shown you nothing but that.
Burst onto the scene, and when he arrived, which was July 21st, from that point forward he had the most hits of any Cardinal the rest of the way of the regular season. And then he had 3 home runs in postseason play.
Most impressive thing that the Cardinals have done so far this year was his throw to get Andrew McCutchen the other night at home plate. Even though the Cardinals lose 3, I've already talked about the strikeouts and all that, but that play by Piscotty was terrific, and a quick tag by Yadier Molina.
We forget Stephen, a former third baseman, and then moved to the outfield, and a very, very good arm. 1-2 pitch. A shift is on. 3 infielders on the left side. And Piscotty pops it back and foul. Cardinals talk so much, Tim, about his adjustments in the at-bat. Not just game to game, but very bright kid.
I was just thinking that. I was thinking of what Mike Matheny said. You know, the slider on the 0-1 pitch and then the 1-2 pitch, he didn't go after that slider.
Freeman over and on a play. But to be a young guy and to do this at this level to be able to make those adjustments in game from pitch to pitch. You don't hear that very often from coaching staff say, well, yeah, this is the kind of guy, we give him the data, he understands what he's doing, understands what the pitcher's trying to do.
Well, you hear that about guys who've been around 6 or 7 years, not 6 or 7 weeks.
Right. Cardinals relying on these young players to step up and be everyday players, whether it's Grichuk, Piscotty, Matt Adams to return to that familiar role. And he got him to chase the slider. Third strikeout for Whistler, 2 in the inning. We're midway through 3, and there's no score. Baseball is brought to you by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. And taste the all-new Double Jack Burger today, only at Jack in the Box. Along with Jim Hayes, Tim McCarver, Dan McLaughlin back with you. Bottom of the 3rd here at Turner Field in Atlanta. The pitcher, Matt Whistler, then the top of the lineup, Drew Stubbs and Eric Ibar. One thing about Garcia, and we were talking about this off the air, you never question his talent. You just question whether or not he can stay out there and give you 25, 30 starts.
Keep him out there and he'll win.
Ground ball that's pulled foul. We forget in his first 2 years in the big leagues, he won 26 games for the Cardinals.
13 each year.
And the first to do that since Harvey Haddix in 1954 to get to 26 wins. Harvey spent 6 years with the Cardinals, but best known for what he did with 12 perfect innings, then lost a game in the 13th.
Against the Milwaukee Braves in 1959. Late May, I believe it was May 29th.
He was also the winning pitcher in Game 7 in the 1960 World Series, the home run hit by Bill Mazeroski.
I don't think I knew that.
Hit to right, and Piscotty, nice play.
What a play!
Wow. The first base hit allowed by Garcia.
I think even the crowd here in Atlanta marveling at that play by Piscotty. And it's something to marvel at. That was an in-between hop. It wasn't a short hop. The ball tailing away from him. Had it gotten by him, at least 2, probably 3, even though the pitcher was running. What a play. That's big time right there.
So here's Stubbs, his first plate appearance, filling in now for Ender Inciarte, who made the start. and had some type of leg issue, had to be lifted from the game. Reached on an error by Jed Jerko. Jerko committed 2 errors in the first inning. One ball, 1 strike. Stubbs, a number of years in Cincinnati. He was to be the center fielder of the future, but he struck out a ton. And he did it at the top of Dusty Baker's lineup. And for years, he was at that top spot, racking up strikeouts. Then they dropped him down. They kept sticking with him, and then they put Billy Hamilton out there.
I was surprised that he didn't start tonight because he's the type of hitter that can hurt Garcia.
And why is that?
Because he likes the ball down. And Garcia keeps the ball down, as we've talked about, throwing a lot of ground balls. But Stubbs will swing and miss. How many times have we seen him swing and miss over the years on high fastballs? He doesn't do that on the low fastball.
2-2 the count. Fights it off. Little flare into right center. That ball is down. Whistler on his way to third. And it's runners at the corners. Nobody out for Atlanta. Missouri Lottery Fox tracks as Stubbs fights off this pitch.
I think that was a breaking ball. Molina sitting outside for that pitch. Garcia got it up. Very good base running by an unlikely candidate. That's Whistler, the pitcher.
Yeah. We talked about it all year last year, going first to third.
First to third, very important play, especially for a pitcher, and he slid into third like a regular would.
Eric Ibar. Infield is drawn in. Interesting to see what the Cardinals are doing here defensively, only in the third inning, as the middle infield is about halfway.
I think about halfway. I think that's good because you're not going to double up Ibar. He's got too much speed. And if the ball's not hit hard, maybe you get Whistler at home.
The 1-0. And Whistler back to the bag, and unbeknownst to him, Yachty tried to pick him off.
Yeah, he had his back to home plate.
Sure did.
Fortunately for him, he was one step from the bag.
It's Bo Porter there, the former manager of the Astros, now on the staff here in Atlanta. Third base coach. The 2-0. Ibar, the 31-year-old former All-Star and Gold Glove winner, the final year of his deal. And the future is Dansby Swanson at short, and they also have an 18-year-old shortstop they think could be here and believe he could be here right now. He's that good. Three and one.
Ibar does not have a lot of power. You can play him shallow if you're an outfielder, particularly Piscotty and right. Makes Steven a little too deep with Ibar batting. But the National League's not familiar with Ibar yet. Been with the Angels for 10 years.
Three-one, runner goes. Stubbs now in scoring position. That's his first stolen base of the year.
Had a huge jump against Garcia. Thank you.
Three-two. in this lineup, we mentioned earlier, the number one threat is on deck. That's Freddie Freeman.
By far the number one threat.
Yeah, and if you're Mike Matheny, first base open, I get it's the third inning, but you want to pitch to Freeman with a couple runners on, or load him up for Garcia, even though he's swinging one of the hotter bats here early on. Let's get there first. Fly ball into right. Piscotty with the catch on the line. He'll fire to the plate, and it is not in time. Whistler scores to make it 1-0 Atlanta.
Whistler standing up, and by standing up, it made an easier target. Piscotty, another strong throw and a good decoy by Yadier Molina, making it appear to the pitcher Whistler, who's not on base a lot, but that there was no play on at home plate. Whistler, a fast runner. I didn't realize that until he got on.
And again, another strong throw from Stephen Piscotty.
Yes.
So both runners tagged. The infield is in. Will they pitch to Freeman here?
Oh, I think you have to now. And if they were second and third and one out, no. I think right now you have to.
You've got the shift on the right side of the infield. And the only reason I would say that, Tim, is that because of the ground ball rate and the potential of a double play, that you think maybe in terms of that if you put Freeman on. Maybe. One and one. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Flied out to Holiday and left. Not only the shift, but they're all brought in. Very good speed down at third and Stubbs.
He was close to going around there. Breaking ball in the dirt, held up by Freddie Freeman, holding up his swing. His numbers against Garcia, strong.
Two and two.
Yadier Molina, that decoy at home, you make the runner think that there's no play on him, and an inexperienced runner could get caught, as Whistler was, by standing up as opposed to sliding.
The 2-2. He got him, and a strikeout of Freeman. Chased a pitch. It looked to be up. Second strikeout for Garcia.
It would be a breaking ball.
Yeah.
Didn't you think like a mistake breaking ball?
Didn't do much.
No, just stayed up. Get Freeman. Take him any way you can get him.
Yeah. So Molina out to visit with Garcia. 2 outs now with a runner at third base. Garcia grounded into a 5-4-3 double play back in the first inning.
All mound visits are timed this year.
Right.
Is that right?
30 seconds.
Whether it's a coach or a catcher.
They will walk Garcia here and pitch to the left-handed hitting Nick Markakis.
This to me is interesting because Markakis, a .287 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching. Buck Showalter told me 4 years ago that the reason he thinks that is the case, he had .361 against left-handers the first year Buck Showalter showed up in Baltimore, 2010. Still the manager there, of course. He said he thinks that's the case because Markakis' father was a left-handed thrower and threw to him as a left-hander when he was a kid. And I started thinking about that, and I said, oh, Buck, And he said, wait, now think about it.
How many lefties do you ever face as a kid?
As a kid, you don't face many, and by the time you get to be 15 years old, if you're a left-handed batter, you rarely face a left-handed pitcher.
That's
so
interesting.
if you've been doing it because your father's a left-handed thrower, that's how you become good, and he's a .287 lifetime hitter against left-handers.
Interesting. So 2 on, 2 outs for Markakis. And he lines it into right field with a base hit. The move does not pay off. A 2-out hit. Stubbs scores, and it's 2-0 Atlanta. The Braves really feel this is going to be a bounce-back season for Markakis. He had spinal surgery before last year and didn't have the pop in his bat. Was still trying to recover from that. Now he's fully recovered, and they think he's going to have a good year. Good call here, partner.
Well, you could see that concentration by Markakis, a veteran hitter. Again, a guy who hits left-handers very, very well.
Hector Olivera struck out looking back in the second inning. Almost hit him. 1 ball, 1 strike. Olivera was just about this time last year, had defected from Cuba and signed with the Dodgers for $63 million. And the Dodgers needed pitching in a bad way. Remember all the injuries they had? So Alex Wood goes from Atlanta, and the Dodgers ship Olivera here.
And Wood's still with the Dodgers in the rotation, right?
And Paco Rodriguez also came in that deal here to Atlanta. He's trying to make the transition of being an infielder, primarily a third baseman, to left field, and it's come with some mixed reviews.
Well, it's a lot easier to go from the infield to the outfield than the other way around.
One and 2 the count. And a fly ball lifted into shallow right center field. Grichuk coming on, a sliding catch. No, couldn't make it. Out of his glove, and a run will score. 3-0 Atlanta.
It'll go as a base hit, but that is a ball Grichuk normally sucks up easily. Lilliquist out to talk to his left-hander. The ball was not hit well. Grichuk having to respect Olivera's power. Playing deeply, had to try to make a sliding catch, and the ball hit him right in the webbing, but came out. Ball he normally sucks up, no problem.
Does. It's a smart visit by Derek Lilliquist, because it's times like these in the past where things could unravel in a hurry for Jaime Garcia. He's already had a couple of errors made behind him. That was in the first. Now that ball that drops in for a base hit. And here is Flowers, the 8th man to come to the plate for the Braves here in the 3rd. Runners at the corners. Flowers walked back in the second inning. That's a base hit out to left field. Into the gap in left center, cut off by Holiday. 4-0 Atlanta. MLB MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. Five hits in the inning, 4 runs for the Braves. 9th man to come to the dish, Gordon Beckham, with runners at first and third. Hit sharply, and Jerko, what a play. That saves a hit and a run. A diving stop to his left, and a big inning for the Braves. We head to the 4th. Opening day at Busch Stadium is Monday, and Fox Sports Midwest has your ticket to the festivities. Bring you an extended pregame show and all the opening day ceremonies from Busch Stadium. Cardinals home opener coverage starts Monday at noon, so 3 hours of pregame coverage. On-field ceremonies at 2:30 right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Lou Brock will be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch. Can't wait.
What a moving moment that's going to be.
You bet. I know you've had the chance to see and visit with Lou the last few months, and he's in great spirits, looking good, and he'll be there opening day.
Unbelievable. No pity or anything like that. Let's get on with it. Lou's watching the game tonight. Lou, you're the best.
Feel the same way, and I know our fans do too. Here's Holiday, who has the lone hit for the Cardinals tonight. Hits that down the right field line and out of play. Oh-2 pitch, a little squibber off the end of the bat that rolls foul. Yeah, the Cardinals will face the Atlanta Braves, first of 3 here this weekend, and Milwaukee rebuilding. And you also see Cincinnati, so it's a chance to get on track against teams that most believe around baseball are in that rebuild mode. Certainly Atlanta and certainly Milwaukee after that tough series with Pittsburgh. One ball, 2 strikes.
Now, before you worry about who you're playing, you got to straighten out, you know, your own furniture and your own kitchen and your own den.
Right now, it's the basement, the 5 bedrooms, the kitchen, living room.
It is. It's a lot of stuff.
As Holiday reaches for it, lines it into left center field. Stubbs won't get there. One hops off the wall. His second double tonight as Holiday went down to get it. And that looked to be a hanging breaking ball.
That was a hanger. Talk about it. For some of you just tuning into baseball for maybe the first time, a hanging breaking ball usually is one that stops spinning. Its action has stopped in the strike zone. Just kind of hangs there. And big league hitters like Matt Holliday do damage to those particular pitches. They hit it hard.
So Holiday is doubled to left center, right center, 2 for 2. And here's Adams, who was hit by a pitch first time up. It's a fly ball out to left. Late break by Oliveira, and it drops in for a hit. Holiday read it perfectly, and he's at third.
That ball's got to be caught, Dan. That's too much hang time.
Tim, again, it's the transition that we talked about, trying to go from third base to left field. But no question, that ball's got to be caught.
That ball's got to be caught. You get a ball with this much hang time, your outfielder has started off too deep. Yeah, I get what you're saying, because a lot of times if you make that move from third to the outfield, you don't know how deep you're playing, and you need a lot of help from the guy who positions the outfielders with the Braves.
Cardinals trying to get Grichuk on track. Chased a pitch on the outside corner his first time up and struck out. Very similar to that pitch right there. You just wonder about some of these young guys like a Randall Grichuk. Has a very good spring. Now off to a tough start at the plate in terms of strikeouts. Had a play in center field that normally he makes 99 out of 100. Doesn't come up with it. How much pressure he's starting to put on himself, even though it's early in the year.
Yeah, not only young guys, older guys have put pressure on themselves too.
Little check swing, and that ball is fair as Grichuk is out at first, advancing on the plate. Adams to second.
Looks like Randall is just in between, and if you're in between as a hitter, it's the worst thing. It's the worst feeling in the world. I think everybody saw famously now Ernie Els, the great South African golfer, with 6 putts from inside 2 feet yesterday, and you wonder, how can a guy like that do something like that? And you say, well, how can major league hitters be in between? It's either a breaking ball or a fastball, but the mind plays funny things and tricks on the other parts of the body.
It was tough to watch.
Oh, was it ever?
Golf fan or not, tough to watch. Not sure if the Cardinals wanted to take a look at that. Didn't seem to be all that close at first base, but they did call time to take a review,
yeah,
at least internally.
The ball was clearly a fair ball. I say clearly. I think we're going to have a shot at it.
Here's Molina, pitch inside, and as Tim mentioned earlier, they're going to go inside on him. Let's take a look here.
Ooh, it still had the line.
Yeah, I think it's a fair ball.
I think it was good play by Flowers to make the move. Otherwise, the ball would have rolled foul.
Stubbs may be a little too deep in right center for Molina. Shading him that way. And you mentioned it, Tim, how at least in that first at bat they went inside with Yachty. If you go outside, he's such a good hitter going with that pitch.
Particularly
you might be,
with 2 strikes, you're right.
You might be doing him a favor.
Yeah.
Pretty good numbers with runners in scoring position in his career, at .302 average. Two balls, 1 strike. Molina grounded out his first time up. He tapped a slow roller in front of the plate. And a ground ball hit to the right side. That'll get a runner home. And the Cardinals get on the board. Holiday scores. That makes it 4-1. Runner at third, and Colton Wong will be the hitter. Grounded out to Freeman at first, his previous at bat, and he's 0 for 1. Big gap in right center. You really look at hand positioning with Colton Wong, don't you, where he's got his hands?
Talked about it all last year. And he did not have his hands that low when he signed initially.
That ball gets away from Flowers, and Adams will score to make it a 4-2 game. A wild pitch leads to the second run of the night for St. Louis.
That was a breaking ball, and I'll tell you, from a catcher's standpoint, you try to call for the pitches that are going to get the hitter out, of course, and you don't worry about if the ball's in the dirt. As a matter of fact, Flowers was asking for the ball in the dirt as he gave the sign.
2-0.
So you could see him with that glove and couldn't come up with it. A big wild pitch for the Cardinals to score.
And that's taken high, and the tying run will come to the plate.
That's a problem, Dan, about hitting a guy like Wong down in the order, because you can't run with him with 2 outs. Normally you wouldn't even worry about it, but with the pitcher coming up and stuff like that. But I've got to think Colton Wong's going to be running here. Make Flowers throw you out.
Jerko swung at the first pitch and was trying to hit it out of the state after 2 errors in the first inning. You could see it was a frustration type swing. Picked up his 50th career home run in Pittsburgh. Noticed in batting practice he was driving the ball into right center time and time again. Looks at a fastball and a strike. Braves picked up 4 in the bottom of the third. Cardinals with 2 here in the top of the fourth. Two.
Cardinal right-handed batters have fallen prey to that slider from Whistler. It's been a very effective pitch for him so far.
Coming into the season, that was the pitch that they talked about with him. Good fastball. At times can get it to 96, 97, but a very good slider, especially to right-handed batters. Wong had 13 stolen bases a year ago. He's leaning and diving back into the bag at first.
I've never considered this a running situation. We talked about him running earlier, but on a 2-2 count with 2 outs, if the pitch is the ball, you're going to be running anyway. So why take a chance of being thrown out with a count 2-2?
Jerko reaches for it. That'll drop for a base hit. Long off to the races to third.
Drop zone and shallow right.
Tell you.
little parachute
He'll take it.
Oh, you better believe it. That was that slider low and away. Watch Jerko. Rear end out.
Roger McDowell, longtime pitching coach with the Atlanta Braves, out to visit with Whistler. How well did you know Roger?
Very well. I was doing the Mets at the time for 16 years with Ralph Kiner, and Roger, one of the real live spirits with that 1986 World Championship Mets. There's a new book out about them, the King of Queens, it's called.
That's why I brought it up. I knew you probably knew him fairly well, and I guess my follow-up would be, knowing the kind of free spirit he was as a player, do you ever anticipate him being one of the top pitching coaches?
You know, I did, because he had such great ways of getting hitters out. He had a great feel for pitching, and I think that overshadowed some maturity situations or devices. We'll leave it at that.
You said that very kindly.
Yeah, well, I meant that. I like Roger.
He was lighting hats on fire and bubble gum and the back of the heels and the bullpen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Real character of his time in the game as a player. Garcia struck out back in the third inning. Whistler has struck out 3. Cardinals with 3 hits this inning, 2 runs and a walk. Here's the 0-1. I was looking the other day, Tim, in Grapefruit League play. There was one pitcher that threw over 25 innings this year in spring training. One. And you just wonder about some of these guys and how deep they can go into games.
If they're ready to go deeper.
Yeah, that's the better way to put it. Are they conditioned? Are they ready? Now the Cardinals, their starters have gotten knocked around a little bit, so we have not seen them go deep into games. But even if they could, you just wonder how long they could go. Same for the Braves. They trained down in Florida. Their pitchers didn't go very deep. Two-one pitch. Garcia up the middle. Diving stop. And a base hit for Jaime. A run will score to make it 4-3.
Well, we had 2 struggling offensive teams going into the bottom of the third inning. The Braves came up with 4 runs, and now the Cardinals, knowing that an inning like this could get you going.
And one of the top RBI men for the club the last couple of seasons is at the plate in Carpenter. 0 for 2 tonight. Twice he has flied to center. Carpenter had a tough spring, hit around 170, and that has carried over here to the early portion of this regular season. Just 1 for 13 on the year. Oh, 1 pitch. Carpenter hits a fly ball into right center field. Stubbs is over. Under it, makes the catch. The Cardinals strike 2. They pick up 3. We are midway through 4. 4-3 Atlanta. 4-3 Atlanta. And we talked about opening day earlier. It's going to be great to see Lou Brock throw out the first pitch. With more on that, let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Yeah, Mike Matheny obviously focusing on the present and trying to get some wins here in Atlanta. But before the game, he was asked about the home opener on Monday, and Mike said, and this echoes what you and Tim were discussing, he just can't wait to see Lou Brock throw out that ceremonial first pitch. Mike says Lou's presence was sorely missed at spring training, and he said Lou and his wife Jackie are just so great to have around. He said Lou is such a positive force, and he said Lou remained totally positive throughout his recent medical challenge. And Mike says he can't wait to see Lou back out there, and I think a lot of people are with him on that.
So I think the idea is get there early for opening day and make sure you're in your seats for what should be a very special moment in this 2016 campaign. Busch Stadium, when they see Lou Brock, will erupt. I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
I know it. Me too, Dan.
Pitcher Matt Whistler will lead it off. We were talking on the ride here from the hotel. Jim and Tim, myself, we got into a cab and we're talking about Lou Brock and just what a kind, gentle man he is. I've never heard someone say something poor about Lou Brock.
Usually that's one word, gentleman. But with Lou, it's perfectly pronounced, pardon. Gentle man.
We've talked about it before, but you would never see him as a player in the trainer's room.
Never.
Tough.
You couldn't have hurt him.
Whistler, a little bouncer up the middle. Wong gathers himself and makes a very good play. You'd see him stutter step a little bit so that he would get in a position to backhand and have that jump throw.
Those are really ground balls that are his strength, not his weakness.
Agreed. Routine plays.
Routine plays right at him are balls that he has the most trouble with. Either going to his left a long way or his right a long way. He can make some dazzling plays.
There's Drew Stubbs. Single to right center, 1-for-1 tonight with a run scored and a steal. Here it is again. Watch a little stutter step.
Right there. Good pickup, Dan. Preparing for the backhand and getting ready to get in throwing position about 3 strides from the ball.
I feel, having watched him, moving to his right, so backhanded plays, he's really strong on those plays.
Oh, yeah.
And ranging to his left, he's got great range, but it seems like
he's better at that than on balls right to him, but to his right, he's unbelievable.
And there's a called third strike on Stubbs. Third strikeout for Garcia. Greinke, Arrieta, Kershaw, Garcia. Lowest ERA, Major League Baseball 2015. The BJC Healthcare difference maker. That's a minimum of 20 starts, as Jaime made 20 starts for the first time since 2012. And he did that despite being on the DL twice, recovering from thoracic outlet surgery. And the play made there by Jed Jerko. Let's see if Garcia settles in. We head to the 5th, and it's 4-3 Atlanta. Amazing stuff from the Rockies shortstop. Thank you, Pat. Here is Piscotty, Holiday, and Adams as we're in the 5th, and it's 4-3 Atlanta. That's hit out of play. Piscotty is flied out to right and also struck out. Whistler, the starter for the Braves, with 3 strikeouts, a walk.
Baseball with its penchant for grabbing you. Grabbed again by a man who, out of nowhere, Trevor Story, has homered 6 times in the first 4 games of the season. Just unbelievable.
Every year, new stories, not to use that, but different guys emerge. Sometimes you see the late bloomers, like maybe a Jeremy Hazelbaker, make a team. Just, it's part of the game, and it happens every single year. Something emerges that you just don't expect.
Yeah.
It's part of the beauty of the game. 2-2. There's a high fly ball lifted out to deep right field. Markakis back with room and makes the catch. Piscotty trying to go with that pitch to right. Take a look at our Chevy Fox tracks. Here's Holiday, who's 2 for 2. A double to right center in the first, doubled and scored. And a ball hit to left center in the 4th. Matt is now the elder statesman of the club. 13th major league season. For the 7-time All-Stars, he pops it up. Freeman will give chase on a play. Cardinals hold an option for his deal for next season. And last year limited to just 229 at bats because of the torn quadriceps. Happened twice. That snapped his streak of 10 consecutive years of at least 500 at bats. Been a heck of a player.
Yes, he has.
Once Randy Choate was off the roster here in St. Louis, Holiday now the oldest player. Randy tried to catch on with the Blue Jays this spring. It's one of their final cuts. 0-2. Line down the right field line and foul.
Randy Choate told my partner Dan McLaughlin last year that he wanted to pitch until he was 50.
5-0.
Hope he does.
Well, he's still breathing. And he's got a he's left-handed.
Yep.
So there's a chance.
Yep.
You agree?
Yep.
The 0-2. A check swing, and he did go. So a strikeout of Holiday. Number 4 tonight for Matt Whistler. This guy's got a chance to be pretty good. He's only 23. Good slider, fastball. See if that changeup does develop. Friday, April 15th, 30,000 fans. That's a week from tonight. Will take home their very own replica. Busch Stadium 3 with working lights. One-of-a-kind stadium replica presented by Ameren, Missouri. Also a few seats available for opening day. Just a handful of tickets. And a strike to Adams, who was hit by a pitch. Then singled on a play that should have been caught. A pop-up, really, in left field.
That opened the gates to, I think, 2 of the 3 runs that were scored. Certainly one of them.
And then Adams was the one that came around to score on a wild pitch.
Yeah.
Also had a bloop hit by Jerko in that inning. That's baseball. The 0-2.
Thing about it is, what from a pitcher's standpoint, what's not supposed to be baseball is to have a ball like that drop. When you get a hitter, a major league hitter, to hit a ball like that, it's got to be an out.
At this level, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
He did go, and that gets away. Flowers to first, and Freeman is there at the bag. Cardinals go in order. 1, 2, 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Midway through 5. Braves on top. St. Louis Blues wrap up the regular season against the Capitals, and the Cardinals visit the Braves. Fox Sports Midwest has you covered. We'll bring you both games. Go to foxsportsmidwest.com for programming information in your area.
And I guess you're going to be a weenie again this year and not introduce me to Brett Hull.
Well, they're busy right now.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
But Brett Hull's not busy.
Well, he's in the front office for the Blues. He's doing different things. We'll get him down to the ballpark.
One delay after another.
We will get him down to the ballpark, I promise.
I don't know, folks.
Look, it's only the bottom of the 5th of our first game together. Get off my back, okay?
Okay.
We got many more games that you can yell at me.
Just thought little levity was necessary.
Well, the fan base, I think, feels the same way after watching the first 3 games. They need a little levity, too.
Yeah, you do.
It's early. 0-2 here on Freddie Freeman, who is 0 for 2 tonight. The splits with Garcia in his career, they do stand out. He's always been really good at home. 10 starts, 1.70 ERA last year at Busch Stadium. ERA was about 3.5 on the road as he went 5 and 4. 1-2, and he tied him up.
Boy, the last 2 times Jaime Garcia has pitched Freddie Freeman about as well as you can pitch him. Breaking balls inside with a fastballs away, really mixing up his stuff. 2 strikeouts in a row from a guy who's tough to strike out.
Here's Garcia. We started our telecast showing you the famous home run of Hank Aaron, which is marked with number 715 in the parking lot just beyond the right field wall here at Turner Field. There's Jimmy Wynn and Bill Buckner chasing that down. That's right, Bill Buckner became a little bit more famous for another play later in his career. Very good career that it was.
2,700 hits this guy had.
Dusty Baker was on deck.
Yep. Dusty now the manager of the Washington Nationals.
You know, overlooked with Hank Aaron is 3,000 plus hits. He hit 300 in his career or better 14 times. You know, you talk so much about the home runs, and I get it. He was the all-time home run king. But don't overlook the body of work of the true player that he was.
Over 200 stolen bases.
Exactly. He was a 30-30 man.
Excellent right fielder. Excellent.
I think the amazing thing with him that would shock especially our younger baseball fans, he averaged 63 strikeouts a season. Now think about that. With the power home run hitters of today, how much they strike out. Now we're talking about
or non-home run hitters. I mean,
well, that's true too.
Matt Carpenter hit. He's not a home run hitter, even though he had 27 last year, but he struck out 151 times.
I mean, Tim, average 63. That's it.
I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
How well do you know Hank Aaron?
Know him very well. Used to go hunting with him.
Did you really?
Went hunting in 1972. Steve Carlton, the Cy Young Award winner in '72, and Henry Aaron in pursuit of Babe Ruth.
And the pressure he was under, my goodness. Here's Markakis, and he hits a fly ball out to left center field. Over his Holiday, calls off Grichuk and makes the catch.
Henry Aaron, in his prime, weighed about 175 pounds, but his wrists and the thickness of his hands looked like they belonged to a man much larger.
Good breaking ball to Hector Olivera.
Funny about the anatomy of, from a catcher's standpoint, what you see all the time. You see the hands, the thickness of them, the size of the wrists, the ankles, calves, stuff like that.
Well, you told me you would look at those kind of things.
Well, you can't help it. Yeah, you can't help but see them. I mean, it preoccupies you're looking out. Willie Mays had manicured nails. I couldn't get over that. He had manicured nails. And I asked him once, I said, do you do that? You buff your nails every day? He said, yeah, I do.
So there's Tim McCarver from Memphis, Tennessee, and seeing manicured nails.
It's a weird position.
Amazing.
You're looking out past the hitter. You got the guy in black and blue behind you, looking out, giving signs. There are things that you see that you don't realize that you see until later.
The 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Garcia's gotten a little sharper as we've gone on.
That was a very good changeup. It's a choked fastball. Good pitch from Jaime.
So 2 outs, runner at first, 2-2 the count. Olivera has singled a ball that probably should have been caught. There's a strikeout. Second time he has struck out tonight. Garcia is up to 5. We head to the 6th, and it's 4-3 Atlanta. April 13th. 30,000 fans entering with a ticket receive a poster celebrating the past 10 seasons at Busch Stadium 3, courtesy of Shelter Insurance. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for tickets. The famous home run of Hank Aaron that night back in 1974. April 8th, 1974. The man right there in the trench coat, that is Craig Sager. And if you are a fan of the NBA and you always see those crazy suits that Craig wears, and he interviews the coaches, he's got a special relationship with Greg Popovich. But that's Craig Sager there, and Craig has had 2 bone marrow transplants, which he was a match with his son, and battling leukemia, and our thoughts and prayers with him. Really a class act. A strike to Randall Grichuk, who has struck out and also grounded out on a check swing. 0-1 pitch. It seems like Randall keeps finding himself in this spot. 0-2.
0-2, 1-2. As long as major league pitchers find out that they don't need to throw your strikes to get you out, they're not going to do that. Your walks have to go up, then they'll start finding the strike zone. But until then, they're not going to do it.
And it's a strikeout of Grichuk. It's 6 tonight for Whistler. What's on Tap is presented by Budweiser. Carlos Martinez, his season debut. Julio Teheran will go for the Atlanta Braves. And tomorrow, check your listings for where that game will be shown on FoxSportsMidwest.com. Here's Yadier Molina as an RBI. Hits it to second base. Gordon Beckham.
How about this week for sports? The opening of the baseball season. The Masters, of course, we talked about it in Augusta National, about 130 miles from here.
NCAA tournament,
Final Four, yeah. I thought the classiest, most eloquent remark was made by Roy Williams. I wrote it down. He's the coach of UNC, who lost just a ridiculously tough game to Villanova. He said the difference in talent is so small and the difference in feelings so large.
How true is that?
It almost goes for all sports.
Yep.
Except for the Golden State Warriors. They're the only exception to the talent being so small.
0-1 pitch.
That's Stephen Curry. Talking about making the game look ridiculous. He's shooting three-pointers from 1 foot now.
There's a bouncer to the right side. Beckham, a nice play to his left in the stretch by Freeman to take a hit away from Colton Wong.
Great play there.
7 in a row set down by the right-hander Whistler. Bottom of the 6th rolls in when we come back. Nice play. Beckham to his left. Braves on top 4-3. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. Go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now. Tyler Flowers. Garcia pitching into the 6th inning, and the first pitch is lined into right field. Piscotty with the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jaime, the last base hit he gave up was in that 4-run third, and that's been it. Got a couple of errors committed behind him in the first, pitched around that. He's walked 3, one of those intentional. But other than that, he's been sharp. Gordon Beckham. 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and also another to short. So opening day, Lou Brock throws out the first pitch. We'll have Bob Gibson there and Ozzie Smith. Whitey. Holiday better make this catch. Help me out. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. Reminder, we have the Molina jersey coming up. That's a week from this Sunday. 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home the Yadier Molina home white jersey. Also has a special 10th anniversary Busch Stadium 3 patch. I don't know, Tim. I mean, you've been all over the place and seen so many different opening days. There is something special about what happens in St. Louis.
There's no question about it. With the rich tradition of the ball club, the winning seasons, Mike Matheny puts on a uniform and goes to the postseason 4 straight years. Tony La Russa and the legacy, Whitey Herzog, Red Schoendienst, on and on and on, and Lou and Gibby and Ozzie and Willie McGee. Certainly among the most popular Cardinals ever. Mike Shannon back on the mic. Doing only home games this year.
Hey, big boy.
Big boy's back.
There's only one Mike Shannon.
There's only one Michael.
We'll see him on Monday. 6 strikeouts for Jaime Garcia as we head to inning number 7. Home run inning. If a Cardinals player hits a home run, the Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Along with Tim McCarver and Jim Hayes, I'm Dan McLaughlin. You're watching Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest. And St. Louis this inning will have Jerko, a pinch hitter, and then Matt Carpenter. It'll be Jeremy Hazelbaker who moves to the on-deck circle, and Jeremy was Jim's guest, and you missed it. Good interview at both baseballs from his first hit, and he got his first home run ball.
Great interview.
Jim does a wonderful job with the players, great relationships, and always fun to hear those interviews on the pregame. Jerko had a little bloop single to right field back in the fourth, and also flied out to left. If there has been a bright spot for the Cardinals, winless in 3 games so far, has been their bullpen. Their bullpen has been terrific.
18 straight innings without allowing the Pirates to score in game 2. That was that extra inning game.
Popped up. Is it playable for Freeman? He's over, and it is. Jerko just spun around, didn't even want to look. Walking back to the dugout. First out here in the 7th. That's 8 in a row set down by Whistler, and here's Jeremy Hazelbaker. Jeremy telling me the other day, Tim, I said, well, what's the difference? Why are you here now and it took you so long to get here to the big leagues? And he said,
28 years old.
Right. He said, I finally got a chance. You know, he was at the Red Sox and the Dodgers, and he said, no disrespect whatsoever to those organizations. He said, but they had spent big money on guys that play my position, and so there weren't a lot of looks. You're just not going to get them. And he said the Cardinals gave me a fair shake, and Mike Matheny in spring training really gave me an extended look, and I felt I had an honest chance, and that's what I needed. And here he is in the big leagues. It makes all the sense in the world when you're paying Puig and Crawford and some of these guys. Out to deep right. Is this game tied? Hazelbaker has done it again with a home run. How about that? His second home run in the big leagues, and Jeremy Hazelbaker has tied this game up at 4.
Sorry, I got excited there, partner.
I love it. Jumped off his back.
Talk about a rocket.
Jeremy Hazelbaker just helped the Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Out of the depths of despair. I mean, that ball was absolutely tattooed to the deepest part of right center.
And Carpenter hits it to right, hustling out of the box. He's thinking 2. He'll test Markakis, throwing to second. He is out.
I think that's a late tag. I think Mike Matheny out of the dugout. Carpenter sliding head first. You hate to see that. We talked about it in the pregame. But sometimes in your zeal, things happen. Looked to me like Carpenter was safe because it appeared that the tag that Ibar made was on the bag. And Carpenter was on the bag by then. It was almost like Carpenter slid into the tag.
Last year he led the league in doubles with 44. The players under review. Carpenter is watching the video board we have here at the ballpark along with everybody else. He's safe.
He was safe.
My only question would be, did the left hand come off the bag while the tag was still being applied? Take a look here. Right there, I think he's safe. Does the hand come off, though?
I think by that time he had his right hand in there. And it's got to be incontrovertible evidence, however.
Right.
Very close, very interesting.
Right now it is out of the umpire's hands here at the ballpark, and this decision will be made in New York.
Yeah, I got to say this. The second base umpire is Mark Wegner, and a very good umpire. But he was behind Ibar. I think if he's on the other side, he gets a much better look of Carpenter going into Ibar instead of behind Ibar's. He's actually looking at Ibar's back.
And blocked
and
on
blocked
the play.
out. Yes.
This becomes a huge call. Oh, he's called out. As you mentioned, if they're going to overturn a call, it has to be pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And that was tough.
Yeah, it was.
And Freddie Gonzalez, it looks like, will go to his bullpen. And that'll be it for Whistler. So a single for Carpenter and then thrown out by Markakis from right field. His hand slid past the front of the bag, too. If he's at the front of the bag, he's clearly safe. Jeremy Hazelbaker, his second home run in the big leagues. This one is tied it up. Whistler out of the game as the Braves go to the pen. The pen takes us to Dan Winkler as Whistler is through after 6 2/3, 4 runs, 6 hits, struck out 6. Made his first opening day roster and fanned the side in a perfect 7th inning on Monday. He'll get Stephen Piscotty. First pitch, tap foul. Tim, it's kind of unique. They carry 8 guys in their bullpen, with 7 of the 8 being right-handers.
The only left-hander, Eric O'Flaherty, whom they picked up really right before the season started.
They have John Gant, Jason Grilli, Jim Johnson, Alexi Ogando, Jose Ramirez, and Aroydis Vizcaíno. Really hard throwers from the right side.
Yes.
The way that Hazelbaker is going, and unfortunately the way that Randall Grichuk is going, you could see Hazelbaker earning himself a start maybe tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Not out of the realm of possibility at all.
He's going to ask Jim Hayes to interview him every day. Jim would be happy to do it. So a 2-out walk, go-ahead run is aboard, and it brings in Holiday. Plaza Tire Service. This last pitch, was it a strike? Close, but outside. Second walk issued to the Cardinals tonight. Here's Holiday. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and a strikeout. 2 outs. Runner at first. Holiday deep in the hole. It's short. Ibar to second, and Piscotty is out. Nice play. The 10-year vet Eric Ibar, the veteran at shortstop for the Atlanta Braves. Well, this Friday night it is time to stretch. Jeremy Hazelbaker has tied this game up at 4. It's a battle of the bullpens now. Hey, Cardinal fans, if you want to catch games on TV or on your iPad, you can stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, stream the Cardinals wherever you may be. Sung-Hwan Oh comes into the game, and he's recorded 6 outs wearing a Cardinal uniform. 5 of the 6 have come via the strikeout. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Tim mentioned earlier when the Cardinals bullpen in Game 2 against Pittsburgh set down 18 straight. He was in the middle of that. He pitched the 6th inning of that game, struck out Jordy Mercer, Matt Joyce, and John Jaso in quick fashion. The first pitch is taken low.
So far in the early going, what I've seen from O, everything is away from right-handed batters.
Yep.
Slider, good slider. And often he's wild to right-handers, trying to be a little too fine on the outside part of the plate.
There's Molina, sets up outside. That's exactly what you're talking about. It's that pitch there. He gets a lot of swings and misses. He had 41 saves last year in the Japanese Central League, 39 the year before. The 1-1. Sets up in the middle of the rubber. And you talk to those that watched bullpens when he first got to camp, Tim, and they said it's not overpowering with the velocity, but everything is moving. Everything. He admitted that he was very nervous in that debut. He walked a couple, and now here he is in Game 3 for him. 2-2.
Talked about the Central League in Japan. For those of you who may not know, there are 2 leagues in Japan like there are in the United States. There's the Pacific League and the Central League. Oh, a certified star in Japan last year.
Oh, yeah. 3-2. Popped up and out of play by Drew Stubbs. It'll be Stubbs, Ibar, Freeman, the top of the lineup here for Atlanta.
I think once O learns the National League part, he will realize that he can be a little truer. He doesn't have to be real fine in a park like this. Very difficult to hit a home run.
Leadoff walk. As we talked about during the break, that's what made even Hazelbaker's home run even more impressive on a very cool night here in Atlanta and what is considered a pitcher's park.
You don't see too many home runs hit over that 390 sign into the Atlanta bullpen anyway. Even on warm summer days.
Not what you want to do there, though. Leadoff walk. Here's Eric Ibar.
Might see a bunt here.
Carpenter thinking the same thing. He's in on the grass down at third. Ibar is a switch hitter. Reached on an error back in the first. Sac fly, RBI in the third, and also grounded out to short. There is Eugene, who is the interpreter for the Cardinals. Eugene was born in Seoul, Korea, then moved. He was in Cincinnati, went to an international high school, then went to NYU for sports management, had to fulfill a two-year military service commitment, finished school, knew O's agent, and at 29 years old, he's in the big leagues as an interpreter. Takes all kinds of paths to get here.
Yeah, wonderful stories.
Actually went to visit the mound first time that O was in a ball game, and that is considered an official visit, if you're wondering. And Derek Lillquist didn't know that at the time, and it was game one, first base open, McCutchen at the plate, and Molina called out Eugene and said, I want to go talk to O, because they wanted to talk about a dangerous hitter, first base open, how are you going to pitch to him? And Derek said he didn't realize that would be an official visit. O was struggling a little bit at the time, and he said he thought about going out to visit with him prior to that. And that would have been a sticky situation on a cool afternoon and nobody up in the pen. And your second visit, all of a sudden he's got to leave. That pitch taken high. Started his pro career in the Korean Baseball Organization in 2005. And between Korea and Japan, he had 357 saves. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Ibar. Showing bunt, gets it down. Carpenter has to barehand. Tough play. The stretch. Out.
Good play by Carpenter. Had he not been alert, I mean, he fielded that ball about 7 or 8 feet from home plate. A perfect bunt by Ibar. Watch how far Matt has to come to field that ball. Good play on the short hop by Matt Adams.
Here we are again, first base open, Freeman up.
Well, now you got the right-hander, so you have a Garcia right-handed batter. I think you may, well, I was going to say an intentional walk, but try to pitch around and be very, very careful with Freddie Freeman.
Molina peeked into the dugout thinking the same thing that you just said. Do we intentionally walk him?
Going to see fastballs away, off the plate.
That scoots away.
That's the problem. When you don't walk somebody like that, and you're trying to pitch around the guy, you're throwing him balls, and the ball squirts away. Normally a ball that Yachty comes up with, like that fastball is on top of him in a hurry. I think it'll be a wild pitch, but normally a ball that Yachty comes up with.
Now you walk him. the Braves have received tonight, 2 of those have been intentional.
And now you're in a dither as to how to play the infield. Do you play him in double play depth, or do you play him half whammy? In the bottom of the 7th inning, it's a puzzling situation for Mike Matheny.
Garcia bounced into a double play back in the 1st. Intentionally walked and scored in the 3rd and walked in the 5th. Middle infield is back. I think part of your mindset here too, Tim, is that with the speed of Stubbs, if he hits a ball to the right side, infield in, very tough to get him.
Good point. Valid point.
Here's a 1-0 pitch.
That ball not even close to a strike. Way out of the strike zone, both low and outside.
And I think to further your point about how O is always pitching outside to right-handed hitters, you're counting on a ball on the ground, reaching for it, potentially rolling over for a double play.
Right. And anytime in double play situations, you're not going to work any hitter inside. No breaking balls and nothing inside. Work him away, you strip him of his power. Hope he hits a hard ground ball at somebody.
2-1 pitch. Chased the ball outside, 2-2.
You'll see that again. I think if you're going to walk him, you're going to walk him with that pitch.
And if you walk him, so be it, right?
Yeah, that would be the way I would look at it.
The 2-2. And he got him. Same pitch.
Let's take a look at the last 2 pitches. After falling behind 2 balls and a strike, Garcia bites. And bites again.
Chevy called to the pen. The Cardinals with 2 lefties in their pen will go with one of them coming out to face Nick Markakis. 7, 2 outs, 2 on. Tim made a great point earlier about, and there's the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Segrist, but about Markakis, and against lefties, grew up facing his dad, who is left-handed, hits well against lefties. He did that against Garcia back in the third, and the Cardinals coming in with a lefty. Now, on the surface, it makes all the sense in the world.
It does. Markakis, one of those everyday players who hits left-handers very, very well. A lifetime 287 hitter, and that key hit against Garcia. We told the story earlier about Buck Showalter and about how his first year in 2010 with the Orioles, Markakis hit .361 against left-handed pitching.
The ball outside. Runners at the corners with 2 down. Nick is 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI and a run scored. Big gap in right center. Bouncer up the middle. Tough play. Wong is there, and Jerko may have got the bag, but definitely applied the tag.
I'm not sure Jed thought he touched the bag, perhaps. Maybe.
Just to make sure he got the tag.
Right.
See the Reds, the first homestand of the season coming up. All those great giveaways with the weekend. And that's next weekend in St. Louis. It's our Chevy call to the pen. Eric O'Flaherty took the loss Monday, allowing the go-ahead run to score on a Daniel Murphy 10th inning double. The Braves bullpen lost 29 games last year, third most in the National League. And the ERA in that bullpen was the second worst in the major leagues. We'll see if that continues here in 2016.
That's an alarming number,
sure
because of the way the bullpens are used nowadays. You talked earlier, and it's absolutely true, about starters not being able to go 6 innings, maybe 7 on a good day.
This is a Ledmus Diaz, so he'll pinch hit for Matt Adams. Diaz was called up, and he cranks one out to deep left field. This ball is gone. Ledmus Diaz, a pinch hit home run. No better time to pick up your first major league home run. Ledmus Diaz, and the Cardinals on top, 5-4. about that?
I'm telling you. From a Cardinals standpoint, from the player's standpoint, it's nice to see him go ahead, but it's nicer to see all the laughter in the dugout. That laughter has not been there through the first 3 games of the season.
At all.
No. For obvious reasons.
O'Flaherty came in to face Adams. Mike Matheny pulls him back, and Aledmys Diaz, first major league home run, breaks a 4-4 tie here in Atlanta. Diaz off the bench in a pinch hit home run. Cardinals have the lead of 5-4.
I would say that John Mozeliak, general manager of the Cardinals, glad he made that move the second day of the season, right? Bringing Diaz up.
I'd say so. I'd say so. Here's Jim Johnson as Grichuk hits a fly ball high in the air to right field and taken by Markakis. And Tim, it's the 2 young guys supplying some power here tonight. Off the bench, Jeremy Hazelbaker, pinch hit home run. Now Aledmys Diaz. That was a no-doubter.
That's the only left-hander the Braves had, and Mike Matheny almost having to pinch hit for Matt Adams, who's a 197 lifetime hitter against left-handed pitching. And until they firmly establish themselves at a position, you got to switch it up, left-handed, right-handed.
Molina jammed. Kubota power stats for Yadier Molina. And he's made history here tonight in terms of all-time games at catcher, passing Ted Simmons. That is remarkable. 1,440 behind the plate. Made his debut in 2004, became the everyday catcher in 2005. And the man on that screen right there, Mike Matheny, was the last to make an opening day start behind the plate other than Yadier Molina. Even Mike will tell you, he said, I knew the writing was on the wall. This guy's special.
Sure. Well, Mike signed a big contract with the San Francisco Giants.
Sure did.
A 4-year deal, I believe, wasn't it? But only 2 kicked in because of his concussions. I think that's right.
And Mike, a great defensive player in his own right.
Gosh. Also a guy who caught 252 consecutive games one time during his career.
And a scoreless, or rather an errorless streak as well, the longest ever by a catcher.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I beg your pardon. That was a 252 scoreless or errorless streak. I'll stumble my way through one of those. That happens occasionally.
But think about, I mean, you know better than anybody, that position to do that with all the plays you're involved with, as Wong picks up a base hit.
I've often thought that that pass ball should be errors for catchers.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, you're tough on your
Well,
brother.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, yeah,
but,
you are.
Think about it. I mean, those are the balls that you most often handle.
Mm-hmm.
So, in fairness, instead of a pass ball, I think it should be an error on the catcher.
See if the Cardinals want to do a little running here with
Yes.
Colt Wong.
He's
picked off.
Yeah, he was gone.
Wong picked off at first by Johnson. But the Cardinals, after trailing 4-0, and now have their first lead of the night. And before we go to break, you hear that music, I get nervous. I'm thinking, oh, we're going to break. But that's not going to be the case, Tim, as you and I are going to have to fill for a couple of minutes here of uncomfortable television time. Are you ready? Are you up to the task?
Well, was Wong up to the task? Oh, he was out.
Agreed.
Wong alerted first base coach Bill Miller that he thought he was safe. No, he's out.
That view right there, they're going to show it here on the video board, and you're going to hear the crowd in the background here right now. Cue the music. To break we go. Aledmys Diaz, first career home run, a big one, 5-4 Cardinals. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Bud Light. Raise one, too, right now. I only wish the traffic moved like that in this town here in Atlanta.
It's going to be worse in the new stadium next year, from what we understand.
Cobb County is
Cobb County gridlock is
Yes,
what it's
sir.
going to be.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
So Segrist, who was able to get the final out in the 7th on a hard hit ball by Markakis, will start this 8th inning. And a strike at the knees to Hector Olivera, who struck out twice looking and also singled to center field.
Showing the value of his worth, really, with the Cardinals. Segrist equally effective against right-handed batters.
Absolutely. We talked a lot the other night about Segrist developing a breaking ball and a curveball that he worked on in spring training. He did not throw it that night, which was interesting because he told me he's got more confidence in that pitch than he's ever had in his career. And it was very good this spring. 0-2 pitch. Gets him to reach. It's popped up. And going out, Colton Wong. Brandon Moss, by the way, is taking over at first base.
There are an awful lot of outs when you get a hitter to reach. Again, you strip him of his power. When he reaches, he's finished. Good pitch from Segrist and Molina. I mean, Yachty was right there. That ball was 6 inches outside.
Yep. Maybe the key pitch in that at bat was strike one, which it is at all times.
That's what you can do.
Exactly.
See, after strike one, you can expand the plate. Get ahead and expand the plate. That's how you get big league hitters out if they bite.
There's Flowers. Homered against the Cardinals last year when he was with the White Sox and had a very good series in interleague play. That is guarding the line. In all your years of baseball, are you a believer in this?
Well, I think Matt Carpenter feels very comfortable because he likes to go to his left to make plays on ground balls. So you're accomplishing two things when you do that. He stays on the line most of the time anyway.
Yeah.
You say guard the line. For those of you who may not know what we're talking about, you try to push everything toward the middle of the field. You work on the assumption that a team has to get 3 hits to beat you instead of 2. 3 singles instead of a single double or double single.
This is in. 3-1 the count. Flowers has walked as an RBI single and also flied out to right. Full count.
That's one of the reasons Segrist is so effective against right-handed batters. He has a tendency to jerk the ball. Pitch started out from a right-hander standpoint. You think it's going to be away, but it was inside.
Molina sets up on the outside portion this time. Hit out of play.
He's trying to work on that curveball in spring training, but
right.
Almost every time Segrist is going to be in a game, it's going to be tight, and you hate to get beat by something other than your best.
He's primarily fastball changeup. Said the slider for him, he was really having issues with location last year. Lost confidence with it. 3-2. Kevin now makes his offseason home in Jupiter, so works out full time at the Cardinals facility there. Miss Diaz, if you just joined us, with a pinch hit home run off the bench. Mike Matheny was asked, what's the difference with Diaz this year as opposed to when you saw him in the past? He said, number one, he's finally healthy. He said, we're finally getting a look at what
that shoulder was giving him problems.
Exactly.
Right shoulder.
And he said also, thinking through an at bat. He said at times when he first got here, he's just kind of wailing away and not thinking through what, at this level, pitchers are trying to do to you. And he said he's gotten a lot better thinking at this level. In the air, center field. That'll stay in the ballpark. There's Randall Bridget for out number 2.
Remember, we started off this telecast tonight talking about pitchers throwing the ball away to big, strong guys and let them make outs in center field. That's what Kevin did.
What a great deal on Cardinals tickets. Fill up at Phillips 66 with 8 gallons or more. now until September 29th. Receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. Here's Gordon Beckham. Oh for 3 tonight. Pair of ground outs also fly to left. One of our favorites has made its way to the on-deck circle, and that's Jeff Francoeur. Back in the big leagues where it all started for him.
There's Frenchie.
He was on the cover of Sports Illustrated his rookie season when he got off to just a remarkable start with the Atlanta Braves. It was another one of those stories of a hometown product and a local kid that was drafted by the club. They've had a bunch of them. And it all coincided with the explosion of the Braves. And as you mentioned, that 14-year postseason run. Brian McCann, another one. The title of that article, Can Anyone Be This Good?
Jeff Francoeur is one of those guys who's probably met as many people in baseball as any player in the game today. And not one of them has a bad thing to say about it. And that's pretty good.
Had a chance to play football at Clemson, but then the Braves made him a first-round pick back in 2002. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Molina sets up way outside. Gets him to reach, and with that, a ground ball. Jerko, Moss, the out. Good work by Segrist as he records 4 outs. We head to the 9th. Cardinals on top, looking for their first win. It's 5-4. You're about to see it. And it's been questioned as to whether or not this is legal. This is John Gant, who made his major league debut Wednesday night. Watch this. It's an exaggerated step or two towards the plate. It's our Chevy call to the pen. And then he delivers the ball. And the hitters the other night were saying, well, they turned around and looked at the home plate umpire and said, this is not legal. How's he doing this? Well, it is legal, apparently. It's been approved by Major League Baseball. And he said the other day when he was interviewed by the media that he had no idea he was doing this until he was imitated back in 2014 by a catcher. He didn't even realize that he had this type of delivery. Well, we're going to see it on display now. It's John Gant into the ball game, and he is the 5th pitcher used by Atlanta. This is Jed Jerko.
It's unorthodox, but not illegal.
Nope.
Looked like it would throw off his timing with his left leg coming up and then going toward the hitter again. Watch, left leg up and then down.
You ever seen anything like that?
No.
I think of Jordan Walden, who was here in Atlanta and then with the Cardinals. As he jumps off the rubber, when he delivers, he actually has his back foot off the rubber.
Yeah, similar, but
it was a good changeup. And Carter Capps, who is dealing with Tommy John surgery, was to be the setup man for the Marlins this year, maybe even their closer. He has a similar motion to that of Jordan Walden, but nothing like this.
good changeup right there.
It's back-to-back changeups.
When it's good, it can be back-to-back.
They say because of this delivery, we're told that's why the changeup can be very effective.
Oh, yeah.
Hitters a little bit waiting, and then whoop, there's the changeup.
Well, the reason, let's go back to what makes a good hitter. A good hitter is a guy with quick hands who can wait and wait and wait for a pitch to develop. So anything that gets the hitter to move forward, which that bringing the leg up is so unorthodox, could possibly do. And then the changeup on the back end, it's almost got a pendulum to put a hitter in.
Greg Garcia, the pinch hitter for the Cardinals. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pinch hitters have been the story tonight for the Cardinals. Hazelbaker tied it up with a pinch hit home run. That made it 4-4. That was in the 7th. And then a Ledmus Diaz pinch hit home run off of O'Flaherty back in the 8th. Cardinals have a lead of 5-4.
Didn't the Cardinals for a time until like September didn't have a pinch hit home run last year?
That sounds right.
It seems, you know.
Garcia, how about this pinch hitter role? Not too shabby tonight. A bomb to right off the bat of Greg Garcia. 3 pinch hitters, 3 home runs, 2-run lead for the Cardinals.
You brought it up.
Unbelievable.
That is hilarious. And again, a Cardinal dugout where all their players are smiling.
He was the Cardinals' best pinch hitter.
He had a pinch hit home run last year, I believe, against the Cubs.
It was.
It was a pinch hit.
It was early. I was just going to say that. It was early in the year.
Yeah.
Cardinals had 4 pinch hit home runs total last year. They've got 3 in 1 game tonight. And as you said, they're all smiles right now. And I'm sure the folks in our postgame show are feverishly looking through the stats and trying to figure out the last time the Cardinals did that.
Gosh.
That's his 2nd pinch hit home run of his career for Greg Garcia. Garcia last year led the club in pinch hits total, and he was up and down with the club 3 different times.
Yeah, he is a pinch hitter deluxe. He's a very valuable man.
Hits from the left side of the plate. I don't think there's ever been anybody in the organization that doubts whether or not he can hit, because he can hit. It's just whether or not trying to find him a position to play every day that he can handle defensively. 3-1 to Carpenter, single back in the 7th. Now 3-2. hit out of play.
Yeah, the calmness of Matt Carpenter facing the fidgetedness, if that's a word, but how fidgety Gant can be.
This guy would make coffee nervous. Ooh, a strikeout of Carpenter. Couldn't pull the trigger. He stayed away the entire at bat.
Kind of jerked that fastball inside.
So the strikeout of Carpenter. This looked to be a changeup hit by Garcia. And again, a no-doubter off the bench. Stephen Piscotty 0 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout tonight, and a breaking ball taken low. In the air, right center, way back, goodbye! 4 of them. Count them, 4 home runs tonight for the Cardinals, and this one off the bat of Stephen Piscotty. 7-4 St. Louis.
I mean, and the thing is, Dan, none of these home runs can be even remotely considered anything other than bombs. I mean, all 4 of them. This one to center field.
Well, if there's anybody in that dugout that's going to lighten things up a little bit, it's Carlos Martinez. So at the end of the receiving line, you got to get the cup of water in the face. Greg Garcia really didn't want it. It's kind of cold here tonight. And look at him. I mean, Carlos, he's not happy about this. Piscotty didn't want it, so he put it down his back. He is not happy.
He's feigning anger. Feigning anger. Just come on, man. Then that, talk about a guy who can be as charming as anybody. That's
Agreed.
Carlos Martinez.
Agreed. A lot of fun to be around.
He really is.
English has really gotten better. He's trying hard at it. He studies all the time.
Yes. Talking to Michael Wacha there.
Here's a 1-2.
Guys,
I'll say this, poor Michael Wacha. If you paid attention to our games last year, Martinez was always next to Wacha, and I never saw Wacha talking back to Carlos. He was just always having to listen the entire night. I think Carlos just wore him out. Here's a 1-2 to Holiday. And Matt is swinging a miss. So John Gant strikes out the side but gives up 2 home runs. Garcia off the bench, the 3rd pinch hit home run of this game. Piscotty for good measure. 4 of them for the Cardinals tonight. Have the lead thanks to 4 home runs tonight. We move to the bottom of the 9th, and 6 is a serious number again. Get any size coffee, fountain, or frozen drink tomorrow, just 50 cents at your local On the Run, and use the On the Run app to find your nearest store. You earned it. Cardinals have scored 6 tonight, as a matter of fact. 7-4 St. Louis. Trevor Rosenthal will try to finish this off with a 3-run lead. Rosenthal, just outstanding a year ago. Notched a club record 48 saves. May have gotten to 50 if he wasn't shut down in the final weekend of the season against Atlanta after the Cardinals had wrapped up the division. This is Kelly Johnson. He'll be the pinch hitter. Rosenthal pitched an inning in the series against the Pirates and had 2 strikeouts. Looked very good. 1 ball, 1 strike. Really good work out of the bullpen by Kevin Segrist.
Facing the 3 right-handers are getting all of them 3 up, 3 down at the bottom of the 8th. 4 in a row retired.
Maybe the at-bat of the game for the Cardinals, looking at it from a pitching perspective, was facing Garcia with runners at 1st and 3rd and only 1 out, and got a strikeout. And there was a strikeout for Rosenthal.
That strikeout on that slider, way away.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's Drew Stubbs. The 48 saves a year ago for Trevor, best in Cardinals history. 1 better than Lee Smith. He had 47 back in 1991.
What was Bruce Suter's high?
Good question. Ended up with an even 300, with the majority of those being more than just an inning save.
A lot of Bruce's and a lot of Lee Smiths were more than 1 inning in those days.
Lee Smith 478 saves, which is 3rd all time, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure I agree with that.
No, I'm not sure I do either.
1984, Bruce had 45. Mariano Rivera 652, the all-time saves leader. Trevor Hoffman was at 601. Then you had Lee Smith and John Franco, often overlooked, at 424, 4th all time.
The thing was, it took Franco and Lee Smith a long time to amass those. They did it from a longevity standpoint, really alone, from year after year after year. They threw so hard. In Smith's case, in Franco's case, of course, he had that foosball or forkball.
2-2, goodbye. Looking for something else. Back-to-back strikeouts. Our Budweiser player of the game, well, you can take your choice. It could be Hazel Baker. We went with Aledmys Diaz, the man that put the Cardinals ahead with a pinch hit home run. His solo home run in the 8th broke open a 4-4 game at that time. Cardinals pitching has amassed 9 strikeouts in this game. Rosenthal is throwing hard again. Last year his fastball averaged 98, 4th highest in all of baseball, the average velocity of that fastball. That one at 96.
He'll get it up to 100 this year regularly.
Weather gets a little warmer.
Probably not average that, but he'll get it up to 100 regularly. Stronger now. If you're going to get Trevor Rosenthal, it's going to be on that tight pitch, that ball down. Anything from the waist to the letters, forget it.
And a ground ball that's hit to second. Long gets it on the short hop. And the Cardinals can breathe a little easier tonight. Their first win of 2016. 7-4 the final.
I'll tell you, Dan, just offhand, I can't remember the last time the Cardinals had 3 pinch home runs in a game.
No. Boy, did they need it tonight.
Oh, boy, I'll say. Did it ever arrive at the right time?
On to the post-game show. Pat Paris, Hungo standing by.